Greetings. I'm Kathy Green with Christian News and Interviews. I'd like to talk to you today about how TED Talk is going downhill and about how Lizzo said that her behind is her greatest asset. And the reason I mention the two of them in the same breath is because I saw a snippet recently of a TED Talk that Lizzo gave. So let me start off with TED Talk. What is TED Talk? Well, there are several levels of TED Talk. There's TED Talk, and then there's TED Talk X. Now, for TED Talk X, you can pretty much easily get a ticket. Getting into a TED Talk X event is pretty easy. But TED Talk itself, not the X, but regular TED Talk, getting a ticket is very, very difficult. There's an application that you have to fill in. You have to write essays. From what I read online, the whole application process to even get a ticket to get into TED Talk, it's about a 2-hour application. It's like getting into college or something. And you're supposed to hear if you get selected to get in, you're supposed to hear unusual guests and brilliant minds. The application is about $5,000, maybe more than that now. But the application, last time I checked, was about $5,000. So you fill out this 2-hour application, you pay this astronomical fee to get in, and then you don't know ahead of time who's going to be speaking. So it is against that backdrop that I share with you that for this exclusive type of TED Talk event, Lizzo was a speaker. And as part of their $5,000 in this huge application process, they got to hear Lizzo talk about twerking. Now, I didn't hear the whole TED Talk because I don't believe it's been released yet. But of course, snippets have been released. And I saw on Instagram a snippet of what she said. Now listen to this. This is Lizzo talking. Through the movement of twerking, I learned that my ASS is my greatest asset. Now I want you to pause and think about what she just said out of her own mouth. She said that through the movement of twerking, and you know what twerking is, it's someone standing there shaking their butt. Through that movement of shaking her behind, her naked behind, she learned that her behind is her greatest asset. It's not her phenomenal flute playing. It's not her beautiful voice. It's not her beautiful face. It's not her beautiful hair. It's not her beautiful personality. Lizzo has somehow convinced herself that her behind is her greatest asset. As she stands there and shakes it in front of children, shakes it in front of women, shakes it in front of strange men, shakes it in front of people who have no interest in her butt. That's what she said out of her mouth about her behind. Then later on in the speech, again, I didn't hear the whole thing now, and I really don't need to. I think I've heard enough. But I wrote down another quote. She said, "Black people carried the origins of this dance." She's talking about twerking as though twerking is some great dance, right? Black people carried the origins of this dance through our DNA, our blood, our bones. We made twerking the global phenomenon it is today. Now, what kind of message is she sending to young black girls? What message is she sending? Telling young black girls that twerking is something to be proud of, shaking your behind, your naked behind sometimes at men, at children, which is what she, would have. She twerks in front of anybody. Shaking your behind is something to be proud of. And this behind shaking is something that is part of the black experience, and it's been passed down. It's so special that it's in our DNA. Can you imagine shaking your butt to men is something that's in your DNA? What about intellect? What about telling our young ladies, be a lady, be beautiful, get a college degree, get a couple of them, or maybe three, attract a decent husband, raise beautiful children. How about that being in our DNA? Be decent, be moral. How about that being our DNA? She said it's in our blood. The only thing I want in my blood is health. That's what I want in my blood, health. She said it's in our bones. That's how important twerking is to her. And so the fact that she's serious is frightening. And the only thing I can say, since she seems to be hopeless at this point in her life, is, young ladies, please don't shake your butt at anybody. There's nothing special about twerking. There's nothing special about shaking your butt. I have something. If you want to shake something, shake that brain. Shake that intellect. Sit down in class and earn those A's. Shake up some A's and some B's. Try not to shake up too many C's. Get that education. Shake up your education. And shame on TED Talk for lowering itself, wasting people's money and time and energy on inviting this type of garbage onto its platform. Do better, TED Talk.